Hello! So this is just a little quick update since my last video. I took us all around the prison and explained the modularity of the floor tiles and the way the level was constructed in terms of repeating itself. All of this up here wasn't here last time. I did this today, so it's just a little update on these kind of support beams that I'm putting in the mass hall. Now, the reason why I'm doing an update on a seemingly small feature is the way these are all put together. If I zoom in here, you'll see that there's a slight gap in between each one of these, just there, just here. And that happens every single tile. You see it here, you see it here, you see it here. That's because, and here, that's because this is modularity probably at its sneakiest. This is been made in probably about an hour, maybe slightly less. And it's very, very complicated. But the reason I'm bringing it up is because of the method of how I did this. So what I did was I made one of the floor tiles. I dragged it up and I tilted it to a 50-degree angle like this, and then popped that up here, yeah? And I thought, okay, that's fine. And then I'll just have a flat surface across the top. That was my base. I imported that into Blender, and then modeled this lovely little beast around it. So this was the sort of floor tiles that started off, and then I made a kind of shape from that and extruded it up, and then made all these beams and fixtures. These are influenced on the design of a cathedral ceiling, as you can see here and here. And it was me just trying to emulate that to keep with the theme of my mass hall being a cathedral, really. So that was very useful for me. So I could look at those reference images, come back into Blender and start modeling. Now, what happens when you export something from Unreal into Blender and then model it, rather than just starting off in Blender, is you end up with these white lines. This is a collision, and this is all the information in the FBX that you usually get. So it imports all the FBX information from here into Blender. All you have to do is export it as a different file name, and then re-import it into Unreal, and then copy and paste its location. So let's make a huge, ridiculous change. Okay, let's extend this out, and let's make this, I don't know, massive. Okay, let's just make this thing, whatever this happens to be, this giant cube here. Okay, that's really off, so we'll notice if this changes. Now I exported this as let's export it as above hallway. In fact, let's do it above hallway 2, just so I don't mess with anything I've got in there. And what I did when I was in here is I got the location here of the tile at the time, imported my new model, which is this one. I'll bring it in. Bada bing, bada boom. There it is. I'll drag it into the level somewhere, anywhere. Wherever it happens to be. Oops, apologies, I made a mistake. That's the one. So I'll drag that in, this horrific contraption, and I will then replace one of these. You can copy and paste the location in, like that. Bam, it's there. Okay. And all I have to do then, once all these are in place in my level tiled across, is every single time I make a change to this. So let's move that down there like that. So it's absolutely insane. all I have to do is export it as the same file name as I saved it that last time, and then re-import it. And that will change every single instance of this that I have. So if I make 3 more, okay, so now we have 3, and then I change this back, maybe delete those. Save it again. When I click update in here, or re-import, sorry, it will get rid of all 3 of these. It'll update all 3 of them. Bang! And it's updated. That's literally it. So all I had to do was model one of them, tile them across the top, and then tile them across the other side, and then just model in Blender and keep hitting export and re-import on here. That was it, until I ended up with something that fit together more or less seemingly. And what I'll do is I'll go back into Blender and move these vertexes across the smallest amount until they tile together perfectly. And that's all I need to do. I don't need to drag and drop the model in every single time, each time. And fun fact, this is exactly the same width as one of the cells and 2 floor tiles. It fits perfectly. So that it doesn't matter how many I have, or if I want to stick them in one of the corridors on the way to the showers, or anything like that, anywhere on my level, I know it's 2 tiles across. So it's just nice and useful. Okay, thanks for having a look at modularity and exporting FBXs from Blender. Cheers.